So I want to discuss something that I feel like is the bigger, deeper rooted psychological issue that also ties into spiritual warfare when we are discussing Turning Point USA, Erica Kirk, and Candace Owens. So for me, this represents who is the true divine race. So I believe, and this is my belief only, so I believe that the trajectory of Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk was a problem from the beginning. Because once Candace entered the picture and it became apparent that Candace was just as intelligent, if not more intelligent, than Charlie Kirk, for them to continue to be in that company together was going to be problematic because Candace was black. If Charlie Kirk's trajectory was president, then to continue to see him make that incline with Candace beside him, psychologically, the visual was problematic because MAGA does not want to see a black woman, one, alongside a white man, but in an intellectual space and in a space of power. Kind of like when you think about the image of the picture of Jesus, it is always portrayed as a pale face, blue-eyed man because subconsciously that ties into pale skin, blue eyes, and patriarchy being the superior power. So they already had to find a way to separate Candace from Charlie, and they needed a white woman because the power of the movement really lies within the women. So these women need to have another white woman to look up to in that place of power in order for them to continue to believe that they are superior, which is the underlying, really the underlying spirit of the movement is racism. So they successfully did that. Even Candace herself said there were handlers and there was stuff. So they made it increasingly impossible for Candace and Charlie to continue to coexist in that trajectory by even offering her a job elsewhere. So insert Ben Shapiro putting her into the Daily Wire position to separate her and Charlie Kirk. So fast forward to the murder of Charlie Kirk and them presenting Erica Kirk as the CEO of Turning Point USA, because again, this organization is really, really being fueled by the women. The men are doing the legwork, but once the women start losing the faith and the belief in their system, then it all crumbles. And that's why you have these white men going crazy, because their white women are now leaning towards Candace Owens and not the pale face, blue-eyed Jesus, aka Erica Kirk. So the crazy thing about this entire situation, and the reason why I put this photo on the screen, is because from day one, it was already insanity. If you look at Candace Owens' skin and Erica Kirk's skin, how is it from the beginning of time that they've been able to convince you that Candace's skin was abnormal? Scientifically, you can get Erica's skin from someone like Candace, but you cannot get the reverse. A white person cannot have a black skin child unless they have intercourse with a black skin person. DNA. A black person can have a pale skin child. Albinos, light skin, mixture. So it's already a twisted. They know this. It's already twisted. It's already wrong, because they already know that you can get white from black, but you cannot get black from white, but even just the image of it. Which skin color looks like something is missing, looks like something is abnormal, right? White skin is a byproduct of fading through generations and mixed breedings. And this is something that should be common sense. But remember, everything is psychological. So this thing, the reason why they are fighting it so much is because this is much bigger than is actually being spoken. Right now, white people are being forced into a position to receive that white skin is not superior. Psychology, mental images. For them to continue to lean Candace's way is eradicating the entire power structure, the entire system, not just MAGA, but America itself. The whole movement of Make America Great Again was to twist it back. You also have to remember that back in the day, when the slaves ran away, those were the people that they said were insane. They called them clinically insane for running away from slavery. It is insane to believe, just based off of your eyes, that white skin is superior. Just looking at it itself shows you that something is wrong. So this is much bigger. This is a matter of the savior complex, the superior being. And once you get past the superior being, when you're looking at it just in color, then you have to move to gender. So Candace is representing the superior being not only black, but also being a female. And that's why this is such a huge thing. That is why you have the people higher up in the government, the president, all the way tied in with Israel and all these other big nations. That's why this is really big, because this is much bigger than just Charlie Kirk. This is much bigger than Candace Owens or Erica Kirk. This is getting all the way back down to the nitty gritty, because with Candace getting all this attention and them admitting she's intelligent, she's strong, she's able to lead, and she's defeating men, women, groups by herself. Candace has 2 or 3 people working with her, and she's working from her own home. That is showing you the real power of the real creator, a black woman. And that is why Turning Point USA and MAGA are shaking in their boots, literally. Because just as prophesied, all of the lies will come to light. The truth is being revealed. We are witnessing Christ consciousness returning to admit that the Eve gene, the creator, is a black woman. Look at the skin. Even the way we got here points to divine intervention. You have a black woman who entered into the Republican Party, the MAGA movement, in my mind, strategically, divinely orchestrated, because that was the only way she was going to end up in the place where she is now, where the MAGA women would trust and follow her. That feels really divine to me, the path that she took, and that was the only way, because there have been tons of black women with the same intelligence as Candace Owens that are ignored. And it would have only been a woman who joined forces with the Republicans, gained their trust, that those ears, those spiritual ears, could have been opened. And I believe that is divine orchestration.